Alright guys, so now we will be working it out and checking over it. So in the first box, it says is the verb past, present, or future tense. So I know that step one, I need to identify the verb. So my sentence says, Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. So I'm looking for an action verb. Is there anything I can do in this sentence? I don't see one. So now I look for a linking verb. So I think about my song. Am, is, hey, I see the word is. So there's my verb. Now, is past, present, or future? Past means it's already happened. Present means happening now. Future means it hasn't happened yet. So Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. That means it's happening now. So that's going to be present tense. So hopefully you circled present for that one. Look at the next one. These are plural nouns. So I have canyons. Canyons with an ES, canyons with an S. So I'm going to think about if I just had one. If it was singular, it would end with an N, so canyon. A word that normally ends with an N, would I add an ES or just an S? If it normally ends with an N, it's just a regular plural noun, so I can add an S. So in this sentence, it would be Mars has higher mountains and deeper canyons with an S than any other planet. So next, this is non-literal language. Doesn't mean exactly what it says. So what do you think it means? Can you give me a hand with this? I don't literally mean for you to chop off your hand and give it to me. That would be kind of gross. So what I mean when I say can you give me a hand is can you help me? So can you help me? Now remember, my pen is going out so it's a little light. Hopefully you can still see it. That's supposed to be an M. Okay, so remember, if you wrote it in different words, that's totally fine, as long as you meant that it's asking for help. So on this box, we didn't have to do anything but just read the words. So again, the words are exit, invisible, submarine, submerge, vision, envision, expelled, subway, express, and visible. You'll be using those words for the rest of that line this week. Now in this one, we read through the words and we had to decide if it was compound first. Remember, the word compound means two put together. So I'm looking for compound words. I'm going to underline them and then divide them up into the two parts. So headache. It is a compound word, so you should have underlined it. And the two words in headache are head and ache. So I'm going to divide it right there. Now, the second word is railroad, which is another compound word. The two words in railroad are rail and road. So I'm going to divide it up right there in between the two. The next word is cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is a compound word. And I can break it up into the two parts, cheese and burger. And our last word is museum. That is just one word. I can't break it up into two words, so it is not a compound word. So now I'm going to clap out the syllables. And I'm going to have to kind of clap with my table because I'm using one hand to record my phone. So I have headache, headache, 2 syllables. The second word is railroad, railroad, 2 syllables again. Then I have cheeseburger. Let's clap this one out. Cheeseburger, 3 that time. And then I have museum, museum, 3 that time as well. So I had 2, 2, 3, 3. Next is my coordinating conjunctions. So which one of these fanboys, but, and, or so makes sense in the sentence? Today we learned about fractions, blank, we learned about habitats. So I'm talking about 2 different things and I want to connect those. Today we learned about fractions, but we learned about habitats. That doesn't make sense. Today we learned about fractions and we learned about habitats. That makes sense, but I'm going to try the other one just to make sure. Today we learned about fractions, so we learned about habitats. That doesn't really make any sense, so it's going to have to be and to connect those together. Now, this is what we started working on last week. It is still new to us, but we're still going to try it. So a simple sentence, remember, is just one sentence, one complete sentence. A compound is two complete sentences put together with a fanboy. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Kind of like a compound word, except it's two sentences put together this time. And then I have complex, which means it has a piece that is dependent, it's not a complete sentence by itself, and one piece that is independent, it is a complete sentence by itself. So remember our strategy, we look for commas and fanboys. If I look, I see a fanboy right here and a comma, I'm going to circle those. It's going to help me look at the two different pieces. So since it has two pieces, I can go ahead and eliminate simple. Simple is just one complete sentence, so it's definitely not going to be that. So let's look at each side of the comma and the fanboy. Some people believe we can live on Mars. That is independent. It makes sense by itself. So I'm going to put an I. Now let's look at the other part and decide if it's independent or dependent. Others aren't so sure. Well, that's a complete sentence too. So since it is two complete sentences, two independent clauses, joined by a fanboy, it's going to be a compound sentence. Two sentences put together with a fanboy. And the last one is new, guys, so if you didn't get this one right, it is totally fine. What is the meaning of the root mobe, mauve, and moat? These are pieces of words, so just to give you an example of one would be mobile. Let me try to... I know we've talked about that word before. Mobile means you are able to do what? Able to move. So, if I see a word and it has these roots, M-O-B, M-O-V, M-O-T, it's going to have to do with moving or movement. Like the word mobile. Like the word movable. Okay? So, if it has one of these roots, it's going to be move, movement, moving, something to do with moving. Okay?